this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com, and I'm so happy to be doing a video again. Just an update. I haven't had many videos lately. We've had an interesting couple weeks in our family, starting with I totaled my car, then my mother-in-law had a medical problem and was hospitalized, and then she had a stroke and was hospitalized again. So sorry about not being around for a while, but I've kind of had more important things to be handling. But today I have a quick and easy card for you. Now, with all that's gone on in our family in the last couple weeks, I have a bunch of thank you notes I needed to do. So I wanted to show you what I did. This idea was inspired on Pinterest, but it's very, I pinned it and I haven't looked at it since. So, and it's very different in the way that I am doing it. I just like the sketch idea, and that's what this is based on. So I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock here that I've cut in half to make it a 3.5 by 5 card. This is just plain Georgia Pacific cardstock. And then I have some paper here. This is from the My Family collection from Fancy Pants, and I've cut them into 1-inch strips by 4 1/8-inch strips wide, and I have distressed around the edges of them with Wild Honey Distress ink. I'm going to be using a couple of stamp sets here. I'm using from Candra Designs. I'm going to be using the Scripture Saying stamp set, and then from Hero Arts I have this stamp set here that is called All Occasion Messages, and I really like the long stamp on that. So let's get started on our card. This is, I needed something simple, something quick, but still something that looks nice. So that's why I chose this one today. So to start out with, I have this piece of paper. This is just a piece of white cardstock that I have, and I've cut it to 5 3/8 inches tall by 4 1/8 inches wide. So there'll just be a very tiny border around the edges of it, and it'll be white on white, but I'm also going to distress quickly around it using the Wild Honey Distress ink. Just a quick little distress coat, just like so. Now, like I said, I've already cut my strips to be 1 inch by 4 1/8 inch, so they will go all the way to the edges. Then if I have to trim a little bit, that's okay. I'll be able to do that. And then I can just run a quick bead of distress around it as well. So I have the 3 different ones that I've put here, and I think I'm going to put this one on the bottom. And like I said, these are all from the same pack of paper, and they're all scraps. I decided this sketch idea that I did find on Pinterest. Now, there was a card, and I will try to find it again and link it to both the video and to my blog post so that you can see the original and how I have changed it. But this idea, I thought this would work really well with scraps. So this is a fun sketch idea that you can use up a lot of scraps. Plus, it's really a very simple card, and because it's so simple, I was able, this is the 7th one I've made, and I've not been working very long at it, so I can get some thank you notes done. And I'm going to do this one on the top. Now, I want to do some stamping before I go any further. So, the first thing I want to do is I want to grab my card base, and I've set aside my board here. I did finally break down and used a coupon to purchase this smaller Martha Stewart scoreboard because I really like to have the convenience of the smaller size. I still use my big one as well, but I like having the convenience of the smaller size when I'm just throwing together a quick card. So what I've done is I've scored that at 4 1/8 inches there, and I'll fold that in half and just put that down nice and firm, just like this. And I decided not to distress around the white because I wanted to have some contrast there. So the first thing I'm going to do now with the stamping is stamp the inside of my card. I want to leave plenty of room for the message that I want to write. So my sentiment stamp, I'm just going to put right in the bottom corner, and that's all I'm doing on the inside of the card. Usually I finish off the inside of my cards a little bit more, but again, I want to have the room, like I mentioned, plus I was going for that quick and easy card that still looks great. So this says, I thank my God every time I remember you. And I'll set that aside. Let me just clean that off real quick. I try to keep my stamps nice and clean here. And then the next one, I'll set the card base aside, and I'm going to stamp the top of my card here, or the front. And this just says, thank you very much. Very simple, very easy. And just gonna push this down, make sure I'm centered. And there we go. So that's all the stamping for this card. Super, super simple. Now the next thing I'm going to do is use some ribbon. And I've pulled out for this one, I've pulled out my 3 Girl Jam sunflower ribbon. And it looks like, I hope I have some more stashed away. I'm gonna have to be placing a new 3 jam order soon. But I'm going to just set this aside up here. Just like so. And all I'm doing is tying a simple bow. And I could have used my 3 Girl Jam bow maker, which of course I love, but I wanted to put this on just like this and wrap it around the back. Make sure I'm keeping it flat on the back. And then just tying a simple bow. Now, like I said, this is the last one of these that I'm making for now, and I made 7 of them, and when I'm all done, I'll show you what those 7 look like. And I think I really kind of like that bow. I'm going to just leave that one. This tail needs trimmed because that was the end of the spool. And then what I did to make sure that my bow doesn't shift too much, because I have some glue dots here, and these are the larger glue dots. They're not the pop relief glue dots, but they're not the minis either. And so I'm just going to kind of roll that in my finger so that you don't see the glue dot, and I'm going to put it underneath the bow so that we don't have too much movement going on. Okay, and then to finish it off, we're just going to attach that to our card base. Now I had some white scraps as well because I'm a saver, so I was able to cut all of my tops just out of scraps. So again, this is a great thrifty way to use up some things that you already have and make a very pretty yet very simple little thank you note with that special touch. So there we have it. It says thank you very much, and that's from that Hero art set. We've got it distressed around, and then we've got some nice kind of almost springy colors there. Springy fall, it's pretty versatile. And then I thank my God every time I remember you. So that's the first one. Now I used the same pack for all of these, but I did use different ribbons for some of them. This one's actually very similar. Same ribbon here, and just a different combination of patterns there from that same My Family pack. This one I used ice blue ribbon to try to pull out some of this blue in the stripe paper, as well, I guess there's none here, but in the stripe paper, then there's little dots of blue in the red paper. This one I used Merlot, but I cut my ribbon just a little bit shy, so instead of tying a bow, I think it was the end of that spool also, or something, I can't remember, but I think I just cut it too short, and so I wasn't able to get a bow, so I just tied a knot bow. And it looks like here I need to go back and just trim my tail just a little bit to make that look good. Another one with the sunflower. Another one here with the Merlot. And yet another one here with the Merlot. So again, there's 7 cards, very simple, pretty quick to make. And now I'm ready to start writing thank you notes and getting them sent. So thanks so much for stopping by today. Remember to take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.